Sweet friends, how do you do today? And how do you woo today? And how do you woo you today? Welcome to How to Woo, a podcast on love and making love so we can make sure we're making lives we love. I am your host, Luna Robbie. I am a multi-artist and creative guide obsessed with learning about life, especially from other humans direct, because we all have our own unique perspective and wisdom. So here we are again for some deep listening and a little vicrophilia so we can stay excited about life and co-create a world where taking care of each other is the norm. Let's dive in. Our guest today is a 36-year-old straight monogamous Canadian woman who is into nudity, public sex, flashing, massage, connection, eye contact, love, and romance. A naked news anchor and adult content creator from Toronto, Canada. Welcome, Eila Adams.
Thank you so much for having me. I've never been introduced like that before.
How was it for you?
Yes. It was really good. I have to say, woo!
Woo! I love it. Okay, so let's dive right in. If you had to rate yourself today on a sexual shame-o-meter, with 10 being so full of sexual shame and 0 being like, I don't know what you're talking about, where do you fall today right now? And when, if ever, in your life or experience has it squiggled around on a shame coaster?
I don't think that I've really ever been embarrassed other than when I've like queefed or something.
Amazing.
Of being embarrassed in that way. Like I'm not one of those people that needs the lights off. Like I love my body. I love showing it off. But yeah, I think the most embarrassing thing would be queefing for sure. But you just got to laugh it
Really?
off.
Okay, I was like, okay, so that, oh,
Maybe like a level 2. So
okay.
no shame.
Not too much shame. Great. I love that. Are there ever instances where you find yourself like, oh shit, oh, I don't know, I shouldn't have talked about sex? Or like, are you open about your work? Like how, when you're like interacting with other people in the world, like how is that for you?
Well, because I've been in this industry for so long now, since I was 21, I've been a naked news anchor. So since 2009, so I've gone through multiple relationships where there have been times where I guess my boyfriend's parents at the time maybe didn't really love what I did, but that relationship would have ended very quickly after that. So I've always been who I am, and it's either a take it or leave it thing.
I fucking love that. Will you
Yeah.
just give us a little overview of your work, both as a content creator and naked news anchor? Like, if I had known that was a thing when I was younger, I'm like, I might have done, like, tell us about it. What's it been like?
Come an audition.
Oh,
So
I
naked
mean, wait,
news.
maybe I will though. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I will.
So Naked News is a online news program that's been around since 1999, which features naked women online reading the news. We also have sports and entertainment like a typical news program. I've been there since 2009, and we just celebrated our 25th anniversary actually last year. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a pretty big milestone. But I love what I do. So basically, I am the resident fitness expert, so I write a naked workout segment called Flex Appeal. I specialize in the news. I host the show. I do a little bit of everything. I love to travel and interview people on location. So it's always fun to be on this side of the camera being interviewed. It makes me more nervous, actually.
Really? You don't seem nervous to me at all, and I'm honored that you allow me to do so for you. That's so cool. So is it like an everyday thing? Like, what's your actual schedule like? Like, it sounds busy.
Yeah, so the show airs Monday to Friday and on Sundays, but I moved outside of the city. So I only go into the news once a week to shoot multiple things because I'm about an hour away from the studio now and I just don't want to do that commute. So now I'm only in once a week versus when I used to be full time, I would be in every day.
I love that so much. Also, just like synchronicity right here, I recently started hanging out with a gentleman who's very fit, and part of our attraction, I guess, is he's been supporting me in workouts, like in my physical body. Like I have a good workout routine, but like having someone who's like, here, do this circuit with me, do this circuit with me on FaceTime. Actually, I love to work out naked. Do you do that? And then the second half, he's naked, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing. And now here I am with you, like a week later. So, what do you like about being naked and working out naked? And is it sexual for you? Like, tell us just a little bit about that stuff for you.
naked news is not sexual. It's
Okay.
more about having fun naked and being like a fun show. So we do talk about sex on the show, but it's not a sexual show. We try to maintain that balance between like fun and news, and that's what makes us different than porn. Even though, of course, some people do jerk off to the news.
Totally. No, I found out people were jerking off to this podcast and I was like, my curious educational what? And then early on when I started posting nudes because I'm a photographer, I do a lot of like started out just naked, just body because I'm a naked person too. And it was like it took me like a year to be like, why are these Instagram strangers writing me such interesting personal messages and I don't even know them, and that's when people are like, they're treating you like a sex worker for free. And I was like, oh my
Well, you
gosh.
do have a very sexy voice, so maybe it's
Oh, thank
that.
you. So you have a lot of fans. I have
hmm
found that some people don't necessarily understand that there's a difference between being naked and being like primed, ready to go sexual. Is that something that you have also like run into and kind of like how do you frame that for people?
I have run into that, especially. I've gone to a lot of like naturist resorts, which is basically about like embracing nudity, and it's not sexual at all.
Yeah.
Like there are very strict rules, like no body jewelry, like nothing, anything that could be considered sexual. Like they're very strict on those rules. So I guess if I've gone to like maybe like a nude beach or something, which doesn't necessarily have those rules, that's where the lines could get confused. And
Mm,
somebody approached me just like thinking that I'm available like for sex just because I'm naked, you know what I mean?
I
But
do.
I'm very clear about what I'm available for.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Could you just like tell us in overview, what is sexy to Ayla? Like, what do you find sexy? Tell us some of the things that just make you feel yummy.
When I feel the sexiest, it's when I have been really healthy. So, like, I've been taking care of myself, doing my regular exercise. I also feel very sexy when I'm tanned. I love being tanned. And I love seeing tan lines too. I don't know why. I just love
Yeah.
tan lines. Being moisturized. I feel very sexy when I'm moisturized and smelling good when I've gotten a good sleep. Just all the things that make you a healthy person is when I'm feeling sexy.
I love that. High baselines. That makes such a big difference. I know that for me, when I like up leveled my nutrition, my regular workout, like all of that and hydration, my sex life just skyrocketed. I love that.
And of course, I would feel sexy after a glass of wine too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel that. What do you find sexy or arousing, or like what do you enjoy in terms of sexiness, like in the world? What arouses you or turns you on?
I'm really into like hardworking men. So, like farmers, just workers, construction workers, sweaty, just like
Yeah,
hard working guys. So, I love a man who like can build me stuff, can fix things for me. Like my current boyfriend is that to a T. And
amazing.
one of the hottest things he ever did was my hot tub at my old house was broken. He whipped off his belt and fixed the hot tub with his belt. And I like had an orgasm right there. It was so hot.
That's so hot. I love hot tubs, and I love the idea of a man who can fix a hot tub.
First tan, somebody who's clearly been working,
Yeah.
some callousy hands. So
hmm
sexy.
Oh my God. You are appealing to all of my farm girl origins, especially since I'm like, I'm usually the one in the city now. Like, I'm the one that has more like practical skills. So to have partnership or, someone who can do things with their hands, I'm like, yeah, put those hands to good use everywhere. I
So
love that.
hot.
That's so
But
good.
other than that, somebody who's willing to give massages too. I love massages. Somebody who puts the effort in, like listens to me, shows that they care about me. All the things that make my relationship currently successful. Like this is my longest relationship that I've ever been in right now, and it's only
Amazing.
4 years.
That's great. I mean, that's longer than I know mine, and that's I think congratulations. I mean, I guess I've had a 5-year relationship, but it was very off and on, and it was not a regular relationship. Like it was like a
Yeah.
very kinky dynamic situation, and a lot of off, so I don't count it. But congratulations. I think that's great, and also we're all unfolding in our own time. That's perfect. How did you learn about sex? Like, it sounds like you have maybe always been pretty open-minded. Like, did you get a sex talk? Did you get a sex education? What's the earliest that you remember it entering your consciousness? And like, how have you become a two on the shame-o-meter? Like what's that unfolding been like for you?
So my parents were very open with me about sex growing up. Like I was always allowed to watch R-rated movies or like see sex like on TV or and that kind of thing. We did have some sex talks. Like when I first got my period, like they told me like, okay, if you're gonna have sex, like you're gonna get you could possibly get pregnant now. So like be careful, make sure you use condoms, that kind of thing. My dad always told me never mistake sex for love, which was very good advice.
Mm.
But my first time ever like seeing sex, I found my parents' old Kama Sutra book when I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe even younger, possibly younger, actually, maybe like 7. And I was so fascinated by it. And I remember feeling like horny. Obviously, I
Tingly,
didn't
yeah.
think that I was horny at that time, but I remember first masturbating with like the remote control and I would just like rub myself with it.
Interesting.
I was obsessed with this book. I would sneak into their room and like look at it as often as I can. Like it was so so funny.
Do you remember why you used the remote? Like, was it just like there? Like, how did that become the thing?
I wish I could remember
Yeah.
why I used it or like why I chose it, but I think it was just because the surface, like this is a phone, it's not like remote, but just like the surface was like hard, and I would just like rub it on my clit, I guess, and yeah, it would work,
I
and
love
it
that.
felt good. Hmm.
Do you remember, did you get a formal education in school when it came to sex?
Yeah, but it was more about parenting, I guess. Like we had like a class about learning about like taking care of a baby, like a home ec class, that
Oh,
kind of thing. It
wow.
wasn't, yeah, it wasn't so much a lot of sex talk. It was more like STD prevention and home ec, like making baby clothes and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't remember any schooling about like different positions or pleasuring or like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, not that I know of personally, but I've heard some people say they got a good comprehensive sex education, but I am still learning what that means to different people. Did you talk about sex with friends? Like, what was it like socially? And then when did you start exploring with partners? We heard about when you explored with yourself, but like, what was the social evolution of your sex life like?
So I guess I was pretty young when I talked to some of my friends now. Like some of us are on the same page, but some of us started earlier. But I grew up in a small town, which is why I think I started young. So I gave my first blowjob at like 13. I had sex for the first time at 15. So I don't think that was young. I think it's pretty normal, but some people think that's
I mean,
young.
I think it's like if you're ready, you're ready, and if you have information, you have it. I was a later bloomer, but not for lack of trying. So it's like,
My only, I guess, I don't want to say regret, but I kind of regret not waiting a little bit longer to have sex, and I wish that I just had it more with a more special person. Like I kind of just wanted to
Mhm.
get it out of the way and just like lose it. Where
Yeah,
I wish that I had like maybe put some rose petals down on the bed or like something like that to make it like special.
I totally
Like
hear
that day,
that.
I remember I just skipped school, went to go have sex with a guy that I was like, that he was an older guy. He was kind of just like not special to me. And I was just like, oh, I may as well lose it to him.
Okay. Do you remember if there was any pleasure in that experience for you other than the excitement of doing it?
No,
Okay.
it obviously hurt a little bit, but once it was done, I was just like, yay, like now I don't have anything to be like, um, scared of or worried about. Like now it's over, and now I can get on my journey with with other guys, and those are my most promiscuous years.
Okay. Okay. So you were exploring.
Yeah, high school and early 20s were my wild years.
So fun. Okay. So early 20s would have overlapped with your beginning doing naked news. How did you like discover it? How did you know it was a fit for you? I mean, clearly you like it. You're still doing it.
So I had, as soon as I turned 18, I basically was like, I want to get naked. Let's make some money here. So
Yes.
I started nude modeling. I did like a naked workout video and a naked cooking show, and the producer of that naked cooking show told me about Naked News. And as soon as I auditioned, they offered me a full-time job with benefits. So, and I was right out of college, and I didn't know really what I was going to do. And I just took the job, and I've been there ever since.
Wow. Okay. This was your promiscuous time. Like it sounds like in those early years you were just like ready to go. Would you tell people that you're dating or seeing or hooking up with or whatever your version of that was? Like would you tell them about your work? Did that inform how they treated you at all? And like yeah, was it I know that nakedness isn't necessarily a turn on, but a lot of people do get turned on with naked. So was there any connection? How was that time for you in those 20s?
So I guess the biggest problem was obviously when I told a guy about it at first, they'd be thrilled and they thought it was so hot, but then we'd start dating for a while and then they'd start to get jealous. So that was
Oh,
all the biggest problem with relationships was the jealousy aspect. And I only had a couple of like successful relationships where the jealousy wasn't a thing. And my current relationship is one of those.
love that.
No
Love that.
testimonial. In fact, I even shoot content with him. So
Oh, that's amazing.
my stunt cock.
Congratulations, by the way. Like, that's awesome. I definitely think that dating people who are not jealous is something that I highly value. Have you always been straight and monogamous? Like, did you know that you were straight and monogamous your whole life? Is that something that you've ever had to like explore or dabble in?
Yeah, I've always been straight, although I do enjoy lesbian porn
Mm.
and I've had threesomes, of course. I guess, have I always been monogamous? I used to be a bad cheater. I wasn't monogamous, but the other person didn't know about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
uh,
Dan Savage calls that polyamory, and it's a pretty common pattern in people.
really, really bad with cheating. I don't do it now, obviously. I'm
Yeah.
so against it now. But at the time, I didn't have a good concept of a successful relationship growing up because my parents, like, they were fighting all the time, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
So I guess that's probably why I wasn't valuing it being in a relationship where I should have just like broke up with the guy rather than cheating on him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I,
that's the
I
easier thing to do. Anyway.
I totally know what you mean. It's a no judgment zone here. We learn the way that we learn in the time that we learn.
Yeah. So now I am monogamous only because I think the one thing I do want to try out with my current boyfriend, which we haven't done yet, is have a threesome. But because I am like so in love with him, I'm worried about me getting jealous because
Oh,
my other relationships, I guess I wasn't so in love.
oh,
And like the threesomes were fine. So I was like, oh, whatever. Like, but I haven't gone that route with him yet because I'm like, fuck, I might get a little jealous, but we're gonna try it. We've been
okay.
talking about it.
I mean, I feel like when you find the right person,
I think a little jealousy can be hot too.
I definitely have some friends who really get off on, have you heard of relationship geometry? So it's like
No.
either triangulation or morangulation, between different people and, obviously consenting with all parties involved, but it's sort of like one of my best friends uses the kind of she and her main partner are open, but like they're kind of they're very, very bonded. And so when they have other lovers, they have like a fun dialogue about like, ooh, the sting, ooh, I'm gonna reclaim you, ooh, I can't wait till you're all mine again, and all of that. And it's interesting because I'm seeing a couple people right now, and one of them is historically monogamous and just like loves me, but is very supportive of all of the work that I do and the fact that, I have multiple lovers. And so that's awesome. You sound like a person who's in your physical body a lot. Do you feel like being physical and strong in your body affects your sensual life, like your intimacy, your sex life?
And the fact that I'm very comfortable with my body for sure. So if for example, put on some weight and I wasn't feeling like really good about myself, I don't feel like I would be as willing to, I guess, be naked in front of another person, like spread out and like, look at me, I'm riding you on top and my tits are in your face. Like I want to feel good about myself. So I think that's what's affecting my sensuality is like, yeah, feeling fit, feeling healthy, being able to run my hands over my body, feel like the way that I'm feeling. I feel my abs. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hot.
I fucking love that. Have you ever been out of shape? Because like I didn't start working out until I was 30. I'm 35, turning 36 in April, and I did not move my body in a regular way because I got really bad messaging about workout stuff. But then once I did, I was like, wait, even 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, I can fuck as long as I want. I can just go.
Out of shape, I guess I was more so that I was unhealthy, like
Mm.
working out in an unhealthy way, like too much cardio. I was used to smoke cigarettes, so like just
Oh
trying to
yeah.
be thin in that way. Not eating like a proper diet, like just eating lean cuisines.
Oh damn.
So,
Yeah.
not healthy. But now I'm more focused on like being healthy and doing a mix of cardio and weights because that's the best.
Okay, that was my next question because when it comes to working out naked, I can do weight training and like body weight movement just fine. Like, and
Yeah.
I've been experimenting with this increasingly lately, uh, due to circumstances. But but the bouncy stuff, I mean, you have boobies. Like, I don't have huge boobies, but like it's
So if I am doing, for example, like I do live naked workouts, and if I've planned a live workout where I want to do cardio, I'll put on a sports bra, but I cut out the nipples, so you can see the
genius.
nipples.
She's a genius. That's
Of
so
course,
hot.
on Naked News, I have done cardio workouts, and yeah, my chest hurts a little bit, so I just try to like avoid cardio
Okay.
or do
Okay.
low impact cardio.
It just doesn't feel good. I remember like in my formative years when I started getting tits, like the trampoline was no longer fun. Like I didn't because I
Yeah.
didn't know about sports. I was like, wow. I'm very sensitive in there. That's so cool. Do you ever get to work out outside? I mean, I imagine for filming it's usually indoors, but like I feel like naked people usually also really love nature. Does that track for you?
So we do have a nude beach in Toronto that we often shoot at. We shoot the news there and naked workouts. And anytime that I have access to either like a backyard, like a private backyard, or if I'm traveling somewhere and there's like a secluded beach or a secluded area, then yeah, we'll shoot outdoor workouts, which are always super popular just because being outside in nature is just so sexy.
It's so sexy. And I heard a study on the Huberman Lab where they were talking about like how actually getting sunlight on our skin on more areas is, I don't know, does something good for us. I can't remember. But like I've
Good for you.
it's so good for and the more that I was like, wait a second, when my butthole gets sunlight, like it's next level. Like having my body skin get sunlight, good. But when my like nipples and my pussy and my butthole get sunlight, I'm like, oh, I feel supercharged. Is that a thing for you? Like,
Perineum sunning. I'm not like an avid perineum sunner, but yeah, that thing that does exist. Like there's studies about it.
oh,
But am I like tanning and like spreading my legs up to the sun? I guess I'm not really paying attention to that, but maybe it's my nipples getting it. But I do love to suntan naked, but I wouldn't say that I'm like spreading my legs to the sun. Maybe
yeah.
I'll try that.
Also, oh my gosh, if you are outside being naked, then you have to try extra hard to get tan lines, I bet. And I agree, tan
Mm-hmm.
lines are so sexy because it's like, look what you shouldn't be seeing. It's right here.
Yes.
It's so obvious. Okay, how do you balance that? Like, you're like, because I do feel like now when I have to wear, especially a swimsuit top, I'm like, oh man, you know?
I usually will just be topless and then wear bottoms when I'm tanning. So I get a little thong tan, but
Okay.
I don't usually have really, I guess, dark tan lines just because I do have to be naked so much and
Yeah,
the sun gets there.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Were you always a fitness, you call it a fitness anchor? What do you call it? Okay.
So I started writing Flex Appeal in 2009. So yeah, I've been writing it for over 15 years now. So coming up with new naked workouts is challenging because I've been writing it for so long.
I
But there's always something fun that I come up with.
That's so good. Did you come up with the name Flex Appeal? Because I love that.
Oh, I wish it was already. We had another girl before me, and she was writing it before me, so I took it over once she left.
Okay. What do you
Mhm.
use for inspiration when it comes to creating that? Like, that seems like a lot of work.
Because I work out personally, it's a lot of it is derived from my own workouts or my own like what I'm working out on the time. Like if I have a boxing trainer, sometimes I'll do more boxing segments, or if I covered my bikini fitness competition routine when I did a bikini fitness competition. So we did my all my training sessions and working out with my trainer. So a lot of it is derived from my personal life, and then some of it's just what I'm finding online just like Googling fun workouts, looking on Instagram, just
Yeah.
like silly, silly workouts or whatever's viral at the time. Or like, remember that shake weight, that thing
Oh,
where
yeah.
working with like that. I did a workout with one of those. That was obviously very popular.
Yeah, that seems like the right kind of bouncy.
Yeah. Yeah, some of it's weight training, cardio, and yeah, I try to get a balance of like all different kinds of workouts so people enjoy.
I love that. Okay, so jumping back to your 20s, re-entering your personal timeline, you are working as a naked news anchor and you're in a time of exploration. And before we started recording, we were talking about how you are like a very sensual and vanilla person. A lot of people think
Mhm.
that I don't like vanilla, and I just want to say out loud, vanilla is the foundation to everything. Like, I need regular sensual touch. I'm always gonna want to just have like oral. I always want to have regular, like, yes to everything else, but not only, you know? So I would love to hear, what were those crazy times in your life like? Like, what did you learn about yourself, about partners? Were there any like fun locations, standout things? Like, just take us through that little timeline for us.
Okay, so during that time, I had a couple of threesomes. I had like my first girl experiences, like being with another woman. I had my first sex toy experiences. Oh, I had a lot of like public sex, like in
Where?
the hospital bathroom.
Oh my.
My boyfriend at the time had broken his arm and it was a really long wait. So we had to kill time somehow. Uh, lots of bathrooms, like club bathrooms. I did in my high school bathroom, like mall bathrooms, so many bathrooms. I don't know why I was so obsessed with bathrooms.
I mean, they're
Uh,
opportunistic. I could see it.
closed door. Movie theater. I did it in the movie theater a couple of
In,
times, which was
wait, in the bathroom or like in the theater?
so we were the only ones in the theater, and it's actually happened a couple of times where we've been the only ones in the theater. Only one time did I have sex. The other times it was just blowjobs.
Ooh. Oh my God. But still, I thought you were gonna say hand job, and I'm like, you gotta get down there. I mean,
Blowjob.
that's ooh. That's so fun. Wait, does that like thrill you, or like do you have, because I am such a good girl. Like, I want to do more public sex things. I've dabbled a little bit, but I'm like, I need to know that it's gonna be okay. Is there a part of you that like, if you get caught, like, will you freak out, or is it like kind of okay?
No, I've never been caught. So
Yeah.
I've caught flashing before, but I've never been having sex. And the
Okay.
flashing, there's never been any like serious repercussions. Like I never got in trouble for anything.
Okay.
So I guess that's why I always just think it's going to be okay. And like, I guess it is the thrill of like potentially being caught, but it hasn't happened yet.
I mean, maybe because you look like you, people are like, oh, thank you. Should I pay you? Here's
Yeah,
all my money. I don't know. Uh,
I'm sure that people have seen me do it, but yeah, maybe nobody just either said anything or I did. Oh, I got a funny look the other day. Um, I had just given my boyfriend a blowjob on the beach, and I guess I still had some cum on my face. I walked we were walking down the beach and this girl was kind of like eyeing me and like smiling at me like she obviously knew what was going on. And I was like, why do you think she was smiling at me? My boyfriend was like, because you have cum all over your face. And I was like,
that's
oh.
so funny and hot.
So she totally knew. But I think she also saw us come out between like the bushes too.
Okay. Oh my God. I love every
This
piece
was
of
like
that story.
2 weeks ago.
I'm assuming that at the nude beaches, like, you're not supposed to have sex. So, like, that's why you needed bushes,
This,
or.
this wasn't a nude beach. This was just the regular beach. Yeah, in Mexico. Yeah, we were bad. But it was such a quiet
Naughty.
beach. But I guess because it was like starting to get towards sunset, people were starting to walk. So that's why we had to be really quick.
Oh my gosh.
But for the nude beach, you are allowed to have sex, the one in Toronto, but
Okay.
there's designated areas. It's more
Okay.
so a gay pickup area, but I'm sure regular, I mean, not regular, like straight people can have sex there too.
Yeah, yeah. Also, like, yeah, what are they gonna say? They'll be like, "No, I am in fact gay." Okay.
Yeah.
Just because we're doing this with these body parts, how dare you judge us?
Mhm.
Can we circle back to the flashing? And
Okay.
do you identify as an exhibitionist? Do you? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anytime time that somebody ever asked me, like, "Are you a nudist?" I would always say, "No, I'm more so of an exhibitionist because I love shopping. I love wearing clothes." And nudism is more about like they're anti-textile, like they don't want to wear clothes. So I love wearing clothes. I'm more of an exhibitionist. So I just love showing off. I've always been a flasher. Even when I was a kid, I was the first one to like suggest streaking at a sleepover or like mooning someone.
Yes. Oh my God. Where I wish I had friends like that in elementary school or middle school.
I've always just found nudity to be funny.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes when I'm with my, I guess, normal friends who aren't sex workers, like, I'll just take a boob out in like a group photo. And then they'll see the photo afterwards and they'll be like, oh, Ayla, I like you wrote the photo. Like, it's just so funny to me. I don't know why. So flashing, yeah, I obviously started it doing it young, just like going out of my friend's like sunroof and flashing the people behind us in the car. But as I started to become like, I guess, an adult content creator, it was more so about like getting fun and weird places and then posting it online
Oh,
because that's a huge fetish and people love it.
yeah. Where
Mhm.
can you post that stuff online? Because I know like OnlyFans is a little bit strict about locations.
Can't do it on OnlyFans, but on Twitter, Reddit, and
Okay.
then my personal website, ailaadams.com, is where all my public flashing is.
How often do you go out and flash? And do you have different outfits? And have you done like the classic raincoat?
Pretty often, like at least once a week, like I'm making a trip to Costco or the grocery store or like Home Depot or something like that to do a little quick flash just to post it online. I haven't got caught yet, but there's security cameras everywhere. I'm sure that like I'm going to the same Costco all the time. Like I'm sure the security guards must know.
They're probably like, ooh.
Trying to be sneaky. But of course, I've done the the trench coat thing. But yeah, I anytime that I'm out at a restaurant, and sometimes I'll even when I'm shopping, I'm like, "Ooh, this is a good top for flashing," because it has to be
Ooh.
something that's like easily to pull down or easy to pull up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
flashing's always on my mind.
I love that. Do you flash, like, are you aiming for a person? Or I guess maybe you're aiming for a camera if you have a companion there with you, right? You have to have someone to go catch the
Yeah,
flash.
I always have either my boyfriend shooting for me or like I'll ask one of my friends to do it or something.
Okay.
So I'm always aiming for the camera, but of course there's going to be people sometimes on the side who see, or like if I'm on a busy street and I'm doing it quickly and like a car drives by, like I'll get honks. But yeah, the people who get to see it, it's always exciting for them, I guess. Like I've never got any bad reactions.
Okay. I mean, that tracks. You are very beautiful. And also, like, as I'm hearing this, I'm like, why haven't I been doing this?
You never have?
I've never flashed, but I have had this street art idea that I just have never like prioritized because I have too many creative ideas. But I'm like, I've always wanted to just like have a pan of paint and wear like a little sundress and like stick my butt in the paint and then put it on a wall and then like spray paint something that says hashtag Butsy. Like I just think that's very funny. Like let's all be Butsy. But that's but I feel like flashing. I don't know. I might be having
You
inklings of
gotta try it.
inspiration. Yeah.
Well, you said that you're in Nevada.
Well, I travel a lot between LA and Nevada. So, like, LA is my home, but New York, I hear, is a very good place to do it because you're allowed to be titties out there.
Toronto, it's also legal. So
Okay.
we actually have
Oh,
a segment in the summer called Naked in the Streets where we interview people topless in the streets.
that's so fun. Do they ever take off their tops too?
Very rare, but every once in a while we'll get a unicorn. In my 15-year career, it's happened like 3 times. So
Okay. Okay.
super rare. But it's even hard to get women to agree to be interviewed a lot of the time. So to
Interesting.
even get somebody who wants to be topless too is extra special.
When in the summer are you doing this segment?
Yes, I should invite you. Please come
I'll just be casually walking around.
on the show if you want to come.
Oh my God. I mean, I love being naked. And it's funny because I'm not an exhibitionist. I just am not shy. And if someone wants to look and they're nice, I identify as a kind sexual. So I'm like, that's fine. You can look, you can get turned on. I just want it to be like a safe, fun space. I'm just always afraid of being naughty, but I think it's just because I haven't had enough friends be like, Flashing is
Mhm.
fun. Like I'm like, where were
Well,
you?
you have to flash on the CN Tower. I haven't done it up there yet, so you
Bucket
can do
list.
it there.
Okay, that's a great question, actually. What are all the places that you haven't flashed yet that you want to flash?
There's so many places that I'd love to flash. And somebody actually asked me this question recently, so I actually have an answer like ready to go. The Egyptian pyramids, only
Yes.
because it is so taboo there. Just even being a
Oh,
woman is like a
yeah,
bad thing there. So
yeah.
to be able to get a flash there would be like the ultimate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's such a good.
I would say like, oh, it was an accident. Sorry.
Oh no, my top just blew up. I don't know what happened. The whole thing just came off. I mean, maybe in that situation, I mean, this is when I'm like, fans need to fund your around the world flashing
Yeah,
trip. Like, how
all the UNESCO UNESCO sites or
heritage
like the
site?
one
Yeah.
that'd be hilarious.
I love the idea too of you just like rolling in on a like private plane or helicopter, like hopping out, being like, bah, bah, bah,
Mhm.
and then getting back in and just bopping off. Like
I love that too. I need to
that's
start this GoFundMe.
I don't know. I'm like, somebody out there, make it happen. Let's do this. That's so cool. So, okay, so flashing and then public sex, you're more in the bathrooms, but are there places that you like, you're like, oh, I would fuck if it, I mean, there's bushes. Okay, maybe more different
Oh, well,
bushes.
I've done it at sex clubs, so I guess that's considered public as well. So I've gone to multiple sex clubs and have done it there in like crowds, I guess.
Okay. Tell us more about your experience at sex clubs. Like, what do you like about it? What is it like there? Is it more swingery? Is it more play party-ish? What do you go with a partner? Tell us your sex club vibe.
I've been to hedonism. I'm sure you've
Okay,
heard of hedonism
I have.
multiple times. I've been to the sex clubs that are in Toronto, and I guess it's a mix of they can be either play parties, you can be with a couple, you can be a unicorn. So I've gone to those things with a boyfriend, and I've also gone single. I've never really been well, I guess I was a unicorn at hedonism because I had a threesome with a couple that I like just met. So I guess I kind of was a unicorn there.
Love that. Yeah. Impromptu unicorn.
Yeah, what's the experience is it's hot because I like watching porn and having sex because I like hearing the sounds of the other
Mm,
people. So it was kind of just like being on a live porn
yeah.
because you could hear other people having sex, you could see it. So I'm very voyeuristic. So at one sex club that I used to go to, they had a room where you could see other people, but they couldn't see you. And I thought, and that was one of my favorite rooms just because yeah, just being the voyeur I found
Yeah.
was super sexy.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you are exhibitionist and voyeur.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so fun. I too am a voyeur, especially if I'm behind a camera. Yeah. So you were on the side of the glass, like as a watcher. Were there other watchers there with you? And like, what was that vibe like?
It was a private room, and we were having sex at the same time, but it was like a two-way. You could see them, but they couldn't see you.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was hot.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So naked news is not exactly sexual, or it's not sexual, and you identify as a sex worker? Is it only because of your OnlyFans content, or is it because of naked news?
This is where the weird gray zone comes in. So technically, I guess naked news is sex work because other people are pleasuring themselves at it. Like it's hard to define sex worker in those
Yeah,
terms. Like when I first started in this industry, I thought sex worker meant escort
yeah,
or like full service sex worker. That's what I thought it meant. But
yeah,
now that I'm an adult content creator, yes, I am a sex worker because I'm either having solo sex or sex on camera, like that's still sex work.
yeah,
So, naked news, it's tough because it's not meant to be sexual.
yeah.
It's just meant to be an entertaining program, but we still are naked. It still involves like people are getting turned on. So, I think that it is sex work.
Okay, okay. Because this question first came up for me when I was, I mean, podcasting, and I was getting some interesting reactions that my cute little neurodivergent brain was like, "What is happening here?" And then I was like, "Oh," because it was literally just last year when I'm finally like on Sext Panther and hearing some reflections from listeners, and I'm like, "Oh, you're like jerking off in the shower to an episode? Really? Like that was so shocking to me. And then it was like when I started, okay, so like you, I find nudity funny in certain ways. So I started taking naked pictures of myself in 2016 when I shaved my head and went to South America and I was just like wandering around. I was like, am I still sexy? Like, what is a shaved head person? Like, what do so I started taking pictures of myself and it would be like me naked by a tractor or like me naked staring over a cliff, like stuff that was like very funny to me. But I was also like examining my body and just, I set up a camera and I like kind of squiggle around and I do a lot of self-portrait shooting like that. And that's most of like what my portraiture is for myself. And then I take pictures of other people. But nobody really was getting my visual jokes. And then one of my friends was like, wait, you put those on OnlyFans and people give you money for them? Like, that's a sex worker. And I was like,
It's hard to like define it because you could say that anything is technically sex work if somebody's jerking off to it.
that's what
So
I'm
that's
saying. I'm like, like, what about
yeah.
people who go to the doctor, have a medical fetish, get aroused, go home, jerk off? Is that, you know?
We're a gray area, but yeah, I'm learning about all the terms. So
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
do identify as a sex worker.
Reflecting on your work, both for Naked News and or content creation, what do you feel like you have learned about sex and about like society's views on sex?
It's interesting to like break it down with both jobs. So I am relatively new to content creating. I only started in 2020. So not I haven't been doing it for very long. So I've been with Naked News way longer, which I guess when I first started with Naked News, I never thought that I would eventually be doing porn. I never thought that that would ever happen. I
Okay.
don't know. It wasn't even on my radar. I was never thinking about it. I just thought that I was going to be a naked news anchor and then like do something else later on in life. So when the opportunity to do content creating came about, I was going very slowly. Like first, I only was posting naked stuff,
Yeah.
and then 2 years later, I posted my first like fingering thing or like spreading thing, and then another year later, I would post like my first masturbating thing, and then another year later, my first blowjob, and then finally this year, I released my first sex tape
Woo!
last month. So it's been a slow build, but I enjoyed it so much, especially just like, I guess the biggest difference is Naked News, I'm told what to do.
Hmm.
And for my content creating, I get to do everything myself. I get to plan everything. I get to make the scripts and come up with my ideas, and I set my prices. So I'm my boss there. Whereas at Naked News, I have a boss that I have to
Okay.
listen to.
Okay.
So I guess that's the difference. But when in regards to sex, what have I learned? I guess I've learned that I enjoy like filming myself.
Yeah.
I've made sex tapes before, but I guess I enjoy like knowing that other people are watching them. I also did my first live blowjob show last month.
Ooh. Ooh.
So hot. I'm actually doing another one this month because it was that like I enjoyed it so much, and my boyfriend did too. He was shocked by that as well. He's like, I'm surprised that I was so turned on by that because this is a live audience watching us,
Yeah.
even though they weren't really live, like they weren't in the room, but it was
Right.
like it's still live.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just more so what I've learned is just uh, how I enjoy sex and like what positions I really like or like what I because I'm forced to, I guess, talk about sex so much, I really have to think about it more. And I think that, yeah, being in a sex positive environment for so long has just gotten me in tune with myself and my body more. So I think that's what I've learned, just more about myself
I
and just
love
other
that.
sex lives in general.
Yes. I was gonna say, like, do you hear feedback from your fans that helps you grow or like inspires you in certain ways? Because I don't get as much feedback as I'd like, but when I do, I'm like, genius, amuse, good job, OnlyFans person. Like I love those messages where they tell me specifics or their desires that kind of spark.
Yeah, me too. And especially when they are telling me about a fetish that I've never heard about before, and they're asking for a custom video for that like strange fetish, or I'm not kink shaming, but just like something that's more out there that I've
I
never heard
love
of
it.
or done. So I think one of my strangest custom requests was the guy wanted me to be working out naked on bananas and like pretending that bananas weren't there. And I would just be doing sit ups and lunges, but the bananas were squishing everywhere. And it was
Whoa.
strange. I'm like, how do you even develop that fetish? Like, what is this about? Because I know that crushing is a fetish
Yeah,
and
yeah,
splashing, but it
yeah.
was just more about like the fact that I wasn't like acknowledging the bananas, and there
Uh-huh.
was so many bananas. And
How
then
many did
he,
you peel them or were they in peels still?
they were in peels.
Okay.
And then he loved the video so much, he asked me to do another one with tomatoes. And that was even grosser because tomatoes.
That would be tough for me because tomatoes are one of the foods where I'm like, nah, it's a little red for me. Like,
But yeah, it was much messier than bananas, but it was so funny. Just like a weird workout, but not acknowledging that I'm on fruits and vegetables. It was so funny. But yeah, I love learning about new fetishes. And yeah, I really enjoy that.
I love that so much because my personal thesis that I'm doing my best to spread around the whole wide world is that sex is our original creativity. Like for me, when I started fucking at the next level, my like artist self was like, ah, and so when people feel safe enough and free enough and connected to you enough to ask for that and to have that, like that's so special in my opinion. What do you remember what workouts you did and was it slippery though? Like how like was it difficult to
I do remember slipping, but I picked moves that were specifically like either going to crush the banana. So I was doing sit ups. So like my back was
Okay.
crushing bananas. Anything that I would have to like step on something, I would try to do.
That's so
This was like
cool.
3 years ago. It was really funny though.
Oh my gosh.
I have a lot of foot fetish fans. I have a lot of pee fans.
Ooh, okay. I love that.
I usually put all my stuff is either on eilaadams.com
Okay.
or I post stuff on ManyVids too because they're very fetish friendly. But yeah,
Yeah.
OnlyFans is lame when it comes to fetishes.
I know. I know. I even I had an erotic writing that I read via audio and because I said spanked the shit out of me, I got like they were like this is not allowed. You are saying things that are against the rule. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then I was like, "Oh, okay." I said the word shit. Okay.
That's actually relatively new for me shooting as well because I always said to myself, I was like, oh, bathroom stuff, so gross. But then I
Oh.
shot my first video and it was kind of funny. So I was like, well, if people are wanting to get off to this, all
I love
right.
it. I'm here for golden shower things. Also, like I like peeing on stuff. I love to pee outside. Is that something that you as a naked yeah?
Yeah. So, of course, I'm incorporating my public flashing with now my public urination as well.
Have you ever like had a trench coat? Oh, I'm imagining now a yellow, like classic yellow trench coat, open it up and pee. That's a fantasy that just popped into my head. Maybe someone will request that custom.
Yellow trench coat, I'd have to go out and buy one. I don't have a yellow trench coat.
I think a fan should gift you one. Yellow raincoat, yellow galoshes, maybe a cute yellow umbrella, maybe it's raining, and then you're just, oh, I don't know how you hold the umbrella and open your trench coat at
Yeah.
the same time, but
Well, I did try to write my name in the snow last month. That was really hard. Like guys can do it so easily, but yeah, it was
yeah.
not easy at all.
Were you, how
I just
did you like grab
I
your
was
bits to
trying to move
aim?
my pelvis.
Okay. I have a friend. We have a history of peeing outside together in various places, and she loves to pee standing up. She's like, I'm practicing my dude pee, and she will like hold her like outer labial lips to aim. And like, so I'm like, I wonder if just like holding it and pointing it could be. I mean, I've never. Now I'm gonna have to. You're adding so many things to my bucket list. Now I'm gonna have to go find some snow and try to write my name in it.
Yeah. Well, more reason for you to come to Toronto.
I love that. You talked a little bit about your like progression into content creation, but what were the like inspirations behind it? Also, I just want to say it sounds like different from your partner debut section. Like it sounds like you took your time with it and you really did. It sounds like maybe you waited for someone special to do partnered content with. So that's kind of a cool reclamation. But like, what was it that inspired you at every step along the way?
The feedback. I loved connecting with the fans on that level, like talking to them regularly. Like, because with Naked News, I never got to interact with fans other than like reading emails from fans like every now and then, but I never got to have that interaction like on a daily level. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like where I can chat with somebody and like get to know them. So that really motivated me. Of course, financially, there was a lot of motivations there.
Yeah.
It went really well, like right away. So of course, I was motivated in that aspect, and just creatively, it was just like a fun outlet because I had been with the news for so long that I was starting to be like, oh, I kind of want to do something else. Like I've already been here for so long. Like there's not like very many other progressions that I can take in this career. I've done it all. I've interviewed so many people. Like I can interview new people, but I was getting kind of like bored with
Yeah.
it. So that as soon as the platform came out, I was like, okay, this could be like my new thing that gets me excited. So yeah,
Mm.
it was something new. It still is new because I'm always coming up with new ideas and themes, and like I'm just my own boss, and yeah, I decide when I want to work, which is nice.
Mm. I really love that. Relatable, and I mean, it definitely has its blessings and its curses, but I do love the freedom and the autonomy. Can you tell us a little bit about like what else you've loved making and or what's on your content creation bucket list?
I love doing come walks. So that's a relatively new thing that I've added in because I obviously love public flashing and stuff. So come walks I just started doing, which are hilarious.
What
Do you
is
know what
it?
it is?
No. I'm like, is it like a walking
Basically,
meditation but coming? Or like a JOI? I don't know.
no. So a guy comes on your face, and then you go out into the streets and walk around with the cum on your face and try to get like people's reactions. So when I did it for the first time, like it was terrifying. Like it was everywhere. Like, and you know how it is to be a woman. Like you want to go out the door like looking your best. Like I'm in New York, I'm walking
Yeah.
around with cum on my face. It was so embarrassing, but the video did so well. Like it's a huge fetish that I had only recently heard about it from another content creator, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I gotta try that. So and yeah, I've done a couple more of them, but my next goal is to do one with another girl, and we're gonna do a double cum walk. So
Wait,
two
that
guys.
oh my God.
And yeah, I would ideally like to go into a Tim Hortons when we do it and get like a double dip donut or something because it's like
Oh,
we
I'm
can
like, what is
order
that? Okay, like a coffee shop? What is it? A coffee shop? Donut shop?
the
Oh
Tim
my
Hortons. It's like a Canadian Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my
It's
gosh. Wait,
yeah,
that's so I mean, I have accidentally gone to the grocery store with like dried gum like here. Like I got home and I was like, oh.
very specific. And like some girls, they'll get like 10 guys to come on their faces and then walk out like that. It's insane.
Okay, so how are you filming that? You must have someone facing you, but also are you facing away? Because are we getting
A POV
yeah.
come shot, and then I take my phone and then POV walk, like wherever I'm going. If it's into like I've gone into a restaurant, I've ordered French fries, dipped the French fry in the cum, and then ate it.
That's
So
so hot.
it was pretty
Wow.
funny. But yeah, it's more about like me holding the phone and then capturing other people's reactions like around me because obviously I found that most people when I'm getting up close to them, they want to avoid eye contact because I obviously look insane, like because it looks like I have weird like glue on my face. Like I'm sure that people's like normal, they're not assuming it's cum, but they probably just think I'm crazy.
That's so funny. Where, like, what types of areas or neighborhoods are you doing these walks in?
Not in my personal neighborhood. Like I'll
Yeah.
go somewhere like at least 30 minutes away.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I would try to go to like a busier area, but also not busy because we have to sometimes do it in the parking lot of that complex or whatever. Like if I'm going into a fast food restaurant, I have to be close by to be able to walk there. So we try to do something at like the middle of the day. Sometimes there's like waiting around involved because like some people are like smoking out in the parking lot. We have to wait for them to leave. So it's
Oh
lots
my
of
gosh.
waiting involved with these come walks.
I was gonna say there's like a whole timing thing there because wait, like when are you getting like do you already have come on your face in the parking lot or do you have like someone ready to come on your face and then you get
We
out?
the blowjob,
Uh-huh.
he in my face, and then I'm going for the walk.
And then
So
you
it
go for
has
the
to be like perfectly timed.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Okay, that's really cool. What else have you been making? That's so fun. I loved it. I loved it before we were recording. You're like, I'm pretty vanilla. I'm like, yeah, I guess. I guess. I mean,
I'm vanilla in my own personal sex life.
mhm,
That
mhm.
I thought we were talking more about like personal sex life. That's why when
Yeah.
I said I was vanilla. So I guess I'm not that vanilla, maybe.
I mean, I think it's such a good example of how like it is a mix, right? Like blowjob is vanilla. I mean, facials, you could some people might call that kinky, some people would call it vanilla. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, come on my face, yay. You know, if we're fluid bonded.
Yeah, I guess I consider myself vanilla only because of my porn preferences and that I'm monogamous. I
Okay.
think those vanilla-y things. So like my porn preferences, I love massage porn, I love lesbian porn, but I like when I'm going onto a porn site, I'm going into the female friendly section. So it's like
Yeah.
really like light lesbian porn. I don't know why that turns me on so much. I think it's like the romantic music.
Yes.
So I think that's why I consider myself to be vanilla. Just
I
because so many of my friends in this industry are like, I like gangbangs,
right.
I like orgies. I'm like, I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But what about a massage orgy? Would you like that?
I don't really like group stuff. Like even the
Okay.
threesome thing, I prefer to focus on one person at a time. Like threesomes obviously can be hot,
Yeah.
but I prefer one-on-one. So I've never had an orgy. They
Same.
even kind of confuse me. I'm like, where does everybody go? Like, is some sitting out? Like, that's why was I in an orgy being in the group sex like playroom just because other people were having sex? But I think the orgy is that you have to be like involved with each other. Like one of my friends told me that the other day that she had a 20-person orgy. I'm like, how is that even possible?
Right, right. It's like how and do you all touch at some point? Is it a rotation? Is it yeah. I have these questions too. Also the word voyeur orgy popped into my head if you're the watcher at an orgy, I don't know. But I feel like yeah, I mean, group stuff can be so overstimulating. And so I know that if I'm doing group play things, unless I'm the one in charge of the threesome, then I
Mhm.
sort of just surrender to sensation and like following bodies, assuming that I'm in a place where that's like safe to do, et cetera, et cetera. But I totally hear you. Like, I have never been in what I would consider to be a true orgy yet,
Mhm.
but I'm orgy curious, you know? I'm like open, but it's also like how do I describe it? I guess I am pretty kinky, but also I am gentle. I don't know if I'm romantic. Can you tell us what you understand as romantic? Like you like the romantic music of female-friendly porn, but like what feels romantic to you?
Music is a lot of it for some reason. Like I was just staying at a hotel room and they had specific buttons next to the bed that was like sunrise, sundown, tease. And I pressed the tease button and on came this like kind of jazzy, like romantic music. And then the blinds closed and the lights got dim. And the whole time that we were staying at this hotel, I kept pressing the tease button when I wanted to have sex because I was so turned on by this 80s jazz music and the curtains being closed. It was so funny. But I guess like, yeah, music really makes it romantic for me.
I love that so much. Like that, I find that very absolutely adorable. What about like receiving romance from your partner? Like what feels romantic in what a dyad? What would you call it? Yeah.
Kissing, lots of kissing, neck kissing, any sort of foot rub. Like the other night, when I was, we were like doing it, like I was kind of on my back and he was sitting up, like fucking me like that. And then he put his foot in my foot in his mouth and was like sucking on my toes at the same time. That was really hot.
You said eye gazing too. I love eye gazing.
Eye contact, dirty talk. I guess that's not really romantic.
Can be. I mean it's in the eye or in the ear of the beholder, right? Like in
Or
the
like saying like I love you is super romantic for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. Is there anything in your sex life personally that you haven't tried that you do want to try? Or I guess that could be both places, right? Especially if you are doing partnered stuff on camera sometimes.
The threesome. I haven't done the threesome yet with my boyfriend, so that's something
Okay.
that's on the list. There's just more so places that I want to have sex. Like I'm dying to have sex in a hot air balloon.
Me too. Specifically a blowjob, but full sex would be great. I mean, oh yeah, I love that.
I want to join the Mile High Club, but the only way
Mm.
you can do it is on a private jet.
I mean, yeah, it's, I mean,
Or that new jet in Vegas, the Love Cloud.
they do have that. I looked it up. It's a, it's a janky website and it's a whole thing. They have a whole package.
Yeah, so not so much, I guess, things to do because we've done it all. Like
Yeah.
anal is crossed off.
Okay. Are you into anal? Like, are you a butt? I am a butt slut. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
anal.
Yeah.
I usually do it more so on during that time of the month, just
Uh-huh.
because it's
Yeah.
not as messy.
Yeah. And it's fun
uh,
to give it its own little stage.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love the feeling of him coming to my ass, and then I call it
Yeah.
giving me a butt baby.
That's so hot, and I've never heard that before. Did you say giving you a butt baby? So cute.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Yeah, so funny. But
Oh
I
my.
love the feeling of being cummed in. Like it feels so
Yeah.
good. Not just in my ass, like in my pussy too.
Yeah.
Super.
Oh, I love that. Are you a fan? I know some people are like sensorially a little squiggly. I used to be like this, but now I love like messy dripping out feelings. Do you like that or you
Mhm.
like keep it in there?
Well, I want to get it out because I don't want to get pregnant.
Right, right, right. But like sensation wise, do you like the drip?
Like, keep it in longer for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then jumping back to threesomes, would you consider a threesome with two dudes? Or it sounds like maybe you're open to dude and lady, but like, what's on the table for you?
People ask me that all the time. No, I'm not interested. I think that's
Okay.
too much. I feel
Yeah.
like it would be too much dick, too full. I also have my vagina is not that deep.
Okay.
So certain positions can be really painful. So I just don't think that my vagina could handle
Okay.
it.
Okay. Because like I have spit roasting fantasies and I just haven't gotten there yet. But because I'm also like more I'm not so much about crossing off the bucket list item as I am like waiting for the correct delicious circumstance to arise. So
I'm sure you can get that.
yeah. And divine timing. Would you consider something like that for content creation purposes, or do you only make content with your partner?
I only make content with my partner or other women.
Okay.
So no other guys. So I have one dick to work with.
I love that.
But I do get complaints because of this one dick because he is uncircumcised. A lot of people don't like uncut cocks.
Really? Do you think they're jealous of the sensation, or do you think it's
No,
visual?
I think I don't like the look of it. So even I can say like cut cocks, yeah, are better looking. But I don't know. I like uncut cocks now just because I love playing with that extra foreskin. They're
Uh-huh.
way more sensitive. But like visually, if you put two dicks next to each other and one was cut and one was uncut, yeah, uncut is more visually appealing. So that's why
Interesting.
I get complaints from fans. They're like, "Oh, I love like watching you give a blowjob, but I don't want to see it with an uncircumcised dick." I'm like, "Well, sorry, this is what I'm working with."
That's so interesting. Okay, and now I'm like, when was the last time I gave a blowjob to an uncircumcised dick without a condom? It's been a minute.
Hmm.
Because I feel like also that skin does pull back. When I was in my early years of fucking and I didn't really know about like cut versus uncut, like I knew there was a difference, but I also like couldn't tell because when I was fucking, like later one of
Hmm.
my second ever lover was like, "Yeah, because you know I'm uncircumcised." And I was like, yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know that. Or yeah. But I like, because of when we were playing, like his foreskin would pull back and people have different amounts of foreskin too. So, wow, that's so interesting. So you literally get complaints.
Not a
Oh,
lot. Like
yeah.
every now and then, sorry, like this is what I have to work with. Like you're lucky that
Yeah.
I'm playing with the dick at all.
Actually, as you say that for the first time, I'm like, I've never seen a dildo shaped like a cock that was uncircumcised.
Right, me neither. I don't
Like
think they make that.
I've seen non-penis dildos, and then there's the one that looks like circumcised dicks. So wow,
Yeah.
that's
Ooh, they
interesting.
need to make one with which has the foreskin
The
ability to like
foreskin.
pull
That would be next level hot. Ooh, that would be very fun. Do you feel comfortable talking about what it's been like creating content with your lover?
It's been hot. We love watching our stuff together. We love coming up with new ideas, coming up with like scripting or themes. Obviously, there have been fights, of course, because
Okay.
working together and like I want a specific angle and like he's not getting it, or like
Yeah.
we've really had to hone in our communication skills with it.
Yeah.
So, and I sometimes don't realize how challenging it is to not only keep an erection, but hold the camera, make sure I look
Yep.
good. So he's doing so much more stuff than technically I'm doing.
Right, right, right.
Like we were shooting a lot of stuff like when we were in Mexico, like on the beach and stuff, when it's
Yeah.
really hot, like hot outside,
Oh.
humid. So we're in like the direct sunlight and I'm trying to shoot a video of us having sex on the beach. And he's like, okay, you need to like make sure to turn me on more before we start to shoot. Like I can't just get hard and then you fuck me right away. Like you need to kiss me and like turn me on. Like I'm like, but I'm so hot. I want to get out of here. And he's like, well, let's try to like make it good.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, he's been having to like teach me some more things, like where it's not just about like getting hard and then fucking like for like on camera, like he
Yeah.
still has to be turned on.
I love that actually. Like I am embarking upon creating more content, figuring out what I want that to look like. Everything I do has a little bit of an educational bent to it because I can't help it. I'm a nerd like that. And so I
Mhm.
love more of the foreplay, more of the turn on, or not even foreplay, but more just, I guess, playing around that's not necessarily outcome oriented, which is
Mhm.
not what most content is. But I love in this story that it's kind of almost like tables turned, where it's like, babe, give me some more warm up.
What do you need me to kiss you for? Like, we have to be using more lube because
Yeah,
I don't usually use lube, use it more now, but he's like, we have to be using lube because you're tight and I need that
yeah,
like layer
yeah.
between that or so I can last longer.
Longer.
Because
Yeah,
I'm like, for some reason, I don't feel like this now, but when I first like was heard of lube or whatever, I always got offended. I'm like, no, I'm wet. I don't need
yeah,
lube. But
yeah.
lube can just things, yeah, just more slippery. It has nothing to do with you not being able to be wet.
Totally, totally. And I've had to teach a lot of partners this. I'm a huge fan of lube, and I do what I call target practice. Uberlube is not my sponsor. I'm not even an affiliate yet. I wish they were. I love Uberlube so much, and it comes in a beautiful glass bottle, which is hard to hold because it gets slippery. It's silicone based, so don't use it with silicone toys, but or wash them very quickly. They're usually okay if you do that, but they will degrade over time. But I love it because it has a little squirt thing, and again, it
Yeah.
is some. I would actually, I'm like, I gotta call them and be like, could you please redesign your packaging so that we can actually use it while fucking? Because they love to be like, we're in medical offices. We athletes use us to prevent chafing. But it's body safe and it's really high quality and it's beautiful. And I like because it has a little squirt thing. So I play a game that I call target practice, and I've been teaching this to all of my lovers where I put it right over whatever I want to lube up, whether it's my pussy or sometimes their parts, or I love to also put it on an inner thigh or a like shin or calf if I'm giving a blowjob, because then I can slide my pussy up and down and it feels really good. But for target practice, I go up like 3 or 4 feet, as long as my arm will reach, and then I just try to hit
Mhm.
the target, and it turns it into a really fun lube game, and then it's less
Okay.
about like, what are we? Do we need lube? Do we need more lube? And I'm more like, time to play target practice. And
That's
so I've been trying to spread it that way
well,
because
I get that one because I've actually been taste testing multiple lubes recently because we're having to use more lube. So I'm
yeah.
trying to find the best one. So right now I just bought Fuck Water just because I
Okay.
liked the name.
I was gonna say I
Um,
like that name. I'll try it for that.
and by Wicked, but yeah, I've just been trying a bunch of different ones. So I'll check out Uber Lube.
I love Uber. It is definitely my favorite. And also sometimes even when I have a sore throat, because one of my other podcaster friends, like the ladies from Shameless Sex, were like, we sometimes just squirt it into our mouth. They do have a relationship with Uberlube. And so I try that. Like if my mouth is dry, or like back when I used to be more of a stoner, I would be like, so there's less mouth noises. Yeah, it's my personal favorite. Would love to hear what you think about it. So are there any other details or like stories or like locations or fun things about your sex life and or work that we haven't covered yet?
I have a bunch of upcoming shoots that are to be edited that I shot while I was away on my recent vacation. And then I always have new upcoming stuff ready to be released soon. So stay tuned for more sex tapes because once I shot my first one, I can't wait to release the next ones.
I totally get that. I totally get I have such a backlog of stuff right now, and I'm like, I need to sit down at the computer and organize it and just like get it
I know
all
it's
up.
hard to decide which one to post.
Yeah, I totally feel that. Okay, I would like to hear, how do you think your work helps people love themselves and or each other? Like, how do you think your work makes the world a sexier, more loving place?
Well, I guess specifically because I'm always promoting health and fitness, that's helping people live a better life in general. So a lot of my viewers that watch either me on Naked News with Flex Appeal or me during my live naked workouts, they tell me that they do the workouts. So it's not just about doing a forearm workout and jerking off.
Yeah.
Get inspired to work out as well. Or like it, and it doesn't even have to be that specific workout, like because I understand not everybody is physically able. Like some of my fans are older, so I always just encourage them to just go out for a walk or just like be healthy, drink water. Just like I'm always promoting healthy habits. I always portray myself as having a good time and smiling and being positive. So I think that's what makes my community a better place too.
I love that. I also, just in speaking to you, I feel like really a sense of groundedness from you,
Mhm.
like in your
Aw.
voice, in your demeanor. Cause like there is, you know, you can be bubbly and smiley and not have that kind of like presence, which I find from you very calming. Like I feel very calm. I'm like, if I was gonna get astrological, I would be like, you're a Taurus. But that's just because I'm a Taurus and I'm projecting. Wait, are
I
you?
am a Taurus.
Because I can sniff them out. I'm like, damn. I was gonna say you're either a Taurus or have strong Taurus because like I'm a Taurus and I'm like, let me be naked, especially outside. Let me move my body. I am not afraid of hard work. I love my work. There is kind of that sensuality and slowness, and oh, that's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you had an unlimited budget to design your perfect play space, pleasure palace, content creation studio, whatever sort of space you might desire that's sexy. It could even just be for you and your boo privately, whatever. Unlimited budget. What sort of elements would it definitely have? Like, what would you put in there?
That sounds so fun.
Right? Future dreams, I am collecting ideas. So, like, maybe this is the Ayla room.
Okay, well, of course, a hot tub, pool and hot
Yes.
tub. Of course, like a massage table,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. Lots of oils. Maybe like a trampoline room, just because like bouncing and like jumping always makes people like really happy and excited. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but like, laughing sometimes turns me on. Like if you ever like
Same.
play wrestling, like it's just you get super in the mood just like
Uh-huh.
laughing.
Yeah. And now I'm imagining a slippery trampoline with oil with naked wrestling, but also sports bras with nipples. Yeah, that's that's what popped into my head with that. Okay.
That's what I have in there.
Good music.
Uh,
You'd have
big screen TVs for porn, and then of course a great sound system for
yes.
music. Somewhere warm so that we can have like an outdoor area as well. Lots of like comfy beds and fluffy pillows and not bright colors, but like colorful and like romantic vibes. I'm trying to like design the room in my head.
Yeah. I love it.
I
I
need
love it.
lots of like fruit and like little snacks around because to be able to keep your endurance for to go
Yes.
again. So I prefer like max for me, I prefer to have sex like for 30 minutes at a time, take a break, and then you can go back to having sex. But I don't like long hours or like tantric sex. Like for
Okay.
me, 30 minutes is good.
I love that. You're like, let's
Yeah,
do it, have a snack, and do it again.
exactly. So like snack area, like a bar, and yeah, sounds like a fun place to hang out.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm into all of this. Okay, I'm taking notes. Excellent.
Mhm. Oh, karaoke machine, just because I love karaoke.
Yes. Ooh, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I like Big Butts, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yes. I
Yeah,
love that.
I love karaoke.
Yeah, me too. It's so good. Okay, so no pressure with this question, but how do you think that we collectively can co-create a sexier, more loving world together?
Spend more time being naked. So I always encourage people to hang out naked at home, Like, look at yourself in the mirror naked. That will make the world a sexier place. If people are more comfortable with nudity, especially like in the media, like how it's just banned on Instagram, like it's just
Yeah.
so dumb, all this censorship, like free the nipple. Let's be more like Europe. Let's adopt some European values. I think that's what will make the world a sexier place. Europe is just sexier in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, let's catch up. Let's just get there.
That's how we'll be sexier.
And how do you love to spread ripples of love?
Well, by being naked, putting myself out there, spreading joy, flashing my tits.
That's a
That's how
good
I
one.
spread.
Very
That's how I
important.
spread love.
Maybe that's also in being more like Europe, we could also just like show each other our private parts more in a way where it's fun for people, you know? Like,
Well, there's always a double standard of like men being the flashers, how it's
oh
like
yeah.
not okay, and then women doing it's okay.
Yeah.
I know it's true. I'm a hypocrite in that way as well, but I don't know if a man did it in the right context.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is context is important. And the culture is part of that context too, right? Like if we lived in a world where it was like friendly to be like, hello, you know, like if that was the greeting instead of a handshake, because obviously we're worried about germs.
Guess the difference is with mine, I'm not trying to have anybody look in public. I'm
Yeah,
trying to do it just for the camera. So whereas a man who's doing it, who's being a creep, is trying to like creep somebody out. So
exactly. There's a unagreed to power play at work there, which is like not the vibe. But I can imagine a world where like flashing each other genitals as a friendly greeting is nice.
maybe one day,
Maybe one day.
but in our little utopia,
In our
I
yes, utopia we're co-creating right here, right now. And thank you for joining on pod today to spread ripples of love. Lovers, if you are listening, you can go find Eila at Flexapeeler on Twitter and Instagram, FLEXAPEELER, and
ailaadams.com, and of course on nakednews.com and onlyfans.com/ailaadams.
yes, and links to all of those things are in the description below. Eila, thank you so much for joining and being a guest.
This was so much fun.
Lovely woo humans, that is our show. Remember to follow your hearts and follow your parts and follow me in family-friendly internet places at Lunar Woohoo, or if you're in naughty internet places, at Lunar Secrets. Visit howtowoo.fyi for links to everything. You can support our awesome show on Patreon for early ad-free episodes. You can worship me virtually on OnlyFans or Sextpanther, or we can work together in person in a number of excellent creative capacities. You can also ask a question, share a story, or apply to be a guest at howtowoo.fyi if you want to be on the show. And tell a friend to help us grow. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and let me know how you're spreading ripples of love.